Conclusion chapter is the last chapter of the thesis which wrap up all of your work. One important thing about the conclusion chapter that you are not going to include new things, new writings or new citations in the conclusion chapter. So what we are going to include, what we include in the conclusion chapter and which we are going to discuss in this video, or that first we discuss aims and objectives, that what were aims and objectives, how and where did you achieve this, and what your aims and objectives are contributing to the academia or the market, and what are the limitations of your work, and what are your future work. So in this chapter, as I discussed, once again you go to chapter number 1 where you wrote your aims and objectives. You discuss that what were your aims, what were your objectives, and did you achieve these aims and objectives or not. Are you partially achieved this? And if you achieve this, then you prove, then you write that how you achieved this, where you achieved this, what type of experimentation, what type of prototyping, or what type of environment was created when you achieved these aims and objectives. And if you achieve these aims and objectives, then how these aims and objectives are contributing to the academia and to the market. You read the literature, you got some issues, you got some problems, you create your own questionnaires. According to that, you work, you solve the issues, and at the end, you are giving a hook statement to the reader that how they are contributing to the market. Because when a new reader comes and he read your paper or a thesis, first he will read the abstract. He will read your conclusions, and after conclusion he decide that either he should read your work or not. Is it capable? Is this work satisfactory? So if your abstract, your conclusion is written well and you explain well that what you have did, what you are going to contribute to the academia and the market, definitely he will read your work. After that, you discuss the limitations, and here limitation doesn't mean the limitations with your language, the limitations with your labs. You were not able to create lab, you were not able to support any type of prototyping. These are not the limitations. The limitations with your work which you have did. For example, my aims and objective was to maximize the provider revenue. And to maximize the provider revenue, I took different type of parameters. And these parameters, one parameter was that I worked on the customer satisfaction. But I think that there is limitations. There is a limitation in my work that my system is not fully able to comprehend, to read, to estimate the customer satisfaction. The customer satisfaction is also a very difficult task. It is a very difficult task to qualify it, to measure it. And in the cloud computing, it's also a very difficult task because you are not directly communicating to your customers. And at the end, you discuss your future work, that how you can expand this work in the future, what you are going to do on this work, and how the reader can contribute to this work. So this was all about the conclusions. Once again, I wrap up, I review that what we include in the conclusion and chapter of your thesis. This may be a conclusion chapter of your thesis. This may be a conclusion part of your paper. But in the chapter, in the conclusion thesis, you write it in detail. But in the conclusion part of a paper or in the research article, you write it very shortly. About you concluded in a one paragraph. So what we are going to include in the conclusion chapter, that once again you reflect on your aims and objectives. How did and where did you achieve this? What these aims and objectives are contributing to the academia and to the market, and what are the main aims with your work, and what are the future work related to your work. Thank you so much.